Have you ever stepped outside on a hot summer day and immediately felt like your energy was melting away? Or maybe you've noticed that certain foods, like eggs or dry fruits, just don't sit as well with you when the temperature rises. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many of us over 60 start to notice that our bodies react differently to food in the heat, and it can leave us wondering, should we really be eating these things when the sun is blazing? Today, we're going to uncover the truth about eggs and dry fruits in hot weather. Are they secretly draining your energy, or could they actually be helping you stay strong and healthy? The answers might surprise you. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a heavy meal on a hot day and immediately regretted it? That sluggish, uncomfortable feeling isn't just in your head. Our digestion changes as we age, and the heat can make things even trickier. But that doesn't necessarily mean we should avoid eggs or dry fruits altogether. In fact, when eaten the right way, they might just be the boost your body needs. Let's start with eggs. There's a lot of debate about whether eggs are good or bad for seniors, especially in the summer. Some people say they're too heavy, too heating for the body. Others swear by them as a perfect source of protein. So, what's the real story? Well, eggs are packed with nutrients, protein, vitamins B12 and D, and even antioxidants that support eye health. That's a lot of goodness in one little package. But here's the catch. When it's hot outside, our bodies work harder to digest rich foods. So, if you're eating eggs fried in butter or loaded with cheese, you might feel weighed down, but that doesn't mean you should avoid them entirely. Instead, try lighter preparations, like a soft-boiled egg with a sprinkle of pepper or a simple omelet with fresh veggies. Eating them earlier in the day when your digestion is strongest can also help. Now, let's talk about dry fruits. Almonds, walnuts, dates. They're often called nature's powerhouses, and for good reason. They're loaded with healthy fats, fiber, and essential minerals. But here's where things get interesting. Dry fruits are naturally dense and concentrated, which means they generate heat in the body when digested. In small amounts, that's not a problem. But in the peak of summer, overdoing it might leave you feeling uncomfortably warm. So, does that mean you should skip them until autumn? Not necessarily. The key is moderation and timing. Instead of a big handful all at once, try soaking a few almonds or figs overnight. This makes them easier to digest and reduces their heating effect. Pairing them with cooling foods, like a bowl of yogurt or fresh fruit, can also balance things out. Now, you might be thinking, if eggs and dry fruits can be tricky in the heat, why bother at all? Well, that's the thing. These foods bring so much nutrition to the table, especially for those of us over 60. The trick isn't to avoid them, it's to enjoy them wisely. And speaking of wisdom, there's another factor we haven't touched on yet, hydration. Because no matter what you eat in the summer, if you're not drinking enough water, your body will struggle. But that's a conversation for the next part, where we'll dive deeper into how to pair these foods with the right fluids and other cooling strategies. For now, think about this. Have you ever adjusted your meals based on the weather without even realizing it? Maybe you naturally crave lighter foods when it's hot, or find yourself reaching for more watery fruits. That's your body's way of guiding you. And when it comes to eggs and dry fruits, listening to those subtle cues can make all the difference. So, if you've been avoiding them all summer, maybe it's time to reintroduce them the right way. And if you've been eating them without a second thought, a few small tweaks might help you feel even better. But like I said, there's more to this story, especially when it comes to staying cool, energized, and nourished in the heat. So, let's keep going, and I'll share the next piece of the puzzle. You know, it's funny. Sometimes the smallest adjustments in our diet can make the biggest difference in how we feel, especially when the summer heat is at its peak, and our bodies seem just a little more sensitive than they used to be. So, now that we've talked about how to enjoy eggs and dry fruits without overburdening your system, let's explore some other key factors that can help you stay comfortable and energized all season long. First, let's talk about hydration, because honestly, this might be the most important piece of the puzzle. When we think about eating in the heat, we often focus on solid foods, but what we drink, or don't drink, plays a huge role in how our bodies handle everything else. And here's something you might not realize. Dry fruits, as nutritious as they are, can actually be dehydrating if you're not careful. Dates, raisins, even almonds. They're concentrated, which means they absorb water during digestion. If you're not drinking enough fluids, that can leave you feeling parched and sluggish. So, what's the solution? It's simple, really. If you're snacking on dry fruits, make sure you're sipping water throughout the day, not just when you feel thirsty. By the time thirst hits, your body is already starting to get dehydrated. And here's a little trick. Try pairing dry fruits with hydrating foods. A few soaked almonds with slices of cucumber or watermelon. That's a winning combo. Nutrient-dense, but also cooling and refreshing. Now let's circle back to eggs for a moment. One question I get a lot is, what's the best time of day to eat eggs in the summer? And the answer might surprise you. Mornings are ideal. Why? Because your digestive fire, what some traditions call your agni, is strongest earlier in the day. As we age, our metabolism naturally slows down, and that's even more noticeable in hot weather. Eating heavier foods like eggs at night, when digestion is weaker, can lead to bloating or discomfort. But in the morning, your body is primed to break down and absorb all that good protein and nutrients efficiently. And here's another tip. If you love eggs but find they feel too heavy in the heat, try adding digestive-friendly spices. A pinch of cumin or coriander can work wonders. These spices don't just add flavor, they actually help your body process the food more easily. It's one of those little kitchen secrets that can make a big difference. Now let's shift gears slightly and talk about something we often overlook. How we eat. Not just what we eat. Have you ever noticed that rushing through a meal on a hot day leaves you feeling more tired? Or that eating while stressed or distracted can make digestion harder? It's true. Our bodies weren't designed to multitask when it comes to meals. Eating slowly, chewing well, and even sitting down in a relaxed environment can help your body handle food better, especially in the summer. Think about it like this. Digestion starts in the mouth, not the stomach. The more you break down your food before swallowing, the less work your stomach has to do. And when it's hot outside, your body is already working hard to regulate temperature, so giving it a little break with mindful eating can really help. One more thing to consider, portion sizes. In the winter, we might naturally crave bigger, heartier meals. But in the summer, smaller, more frequent meals can be much easier on the system. Instead of 3 large plates a day, try 5 or 6 lighter ones. A hard-boiled egg with some sliced veggies here, a handful of soaked almonds there. It keeps your energy steady without overwhelming your digestion. And here's something fascinating. The way you store and prepare these foods matters too. Eggs, for example, should always be fresh and properly refrigerated in the summer, since heat can make them spoil faster. Dry fruits? Keep them in airtight containers away from sunlight to preserve their nutrients and prevent them from becoming too hard or rancid. Now, I know this might feel like a lot to think about, but here's the good news. None of these adjustments are difficult. They're just small, mindful changes that add up to a big difference in how you feel. And the best part? Once you get into the rhythm, it becomes second nature. But we're not done yet, because there's still one more layer to this conversation. What if I told you that some of the most common pairings of eggs and dry fruits might actually be working against you in the heat? Or that there are specific fruits and herbs that can enhance their benefits while keeping you cool? Well, that's exactly what we'll explore next. Because when you combine the right foods in the right ways, you don't just avoid discomfort. You actually boost your energy and vitality, no matter what the thermometer says. So, let's keep going, because the best tips are still ahead. Isn't it amazing how nature provides exactly what we need, if we just know how to listen? Take summer fruits, for example. Juicy mangoes, cooling cucumbers, hydrating melons. They're like little gifts from the earth, perfectly timed to help us beat the heat. And when we pair them wisely with foods like eggs and dry fruits, something beautiful happens. We don't just eat, we thrive. Now, earlier we touched on how digestion changes with age and temperature. But here's what we haven't explored yet: the magic of food combining. You see, some foods naturally enhance each other's benefits, while others can work against us, especially in hot weather. Let me give you an example. Have you ever had eggs with cheese on a sweltering afternoon and felt like taking a nap immediately after? That's because heavy proteins and fats require more digestive effort, something your body struggles with when it's already busy keeping you cool. But what if instead of cheese, you paired your eggs with spinach or zucchini? Suddenly you've got a meal that's still packed with protein, but also full of water-rich veggies that help everything move through your system smoothly. It's the same with dry fruits. Eating a handful of almonds with your morning coffee might leave you dehydrated, but enjoy those same almonds with a cup of mint tea or a slice of papaya, and your body will thank you. Here's another game changer: herbs and spices. We talked earlier about how cumin and coriander can aid digestion, but let's not forget about cooling herbs like mint, fennel, and cilantro. A simple trick: soak a teaspoon of fennel seeds overnight in water and sip that water throughout the next day. It's incredibly soothing for your digestive system and helps balance the natural heat of dry fruits. Or try adding fresh cilantro to your egg dishes. It's not just a garnish, it's a powerful cooling agent. Now, I want to address something important. With all this talk about adjustments and precautions, you might be wondering, is it even worth eating these foods in summer? The answer is a resounding yes, because the nutrients they provide become even more crucial as we age. Eggs give us choline for brain health and protein to maintain muscle mass. Dry fruits deliver magnesium for heart health and fiber for digestion. We just need to be smart about how we enjoy them. Think of it like dressing for the weather. You wouldn't wear a wool sweater in July, right? But that doesn't mean you stop wearing sweaters altogether. You just save them for winter. Similarly, we're not eliminating eggs and dry fruits from our summer diet. We're simply adapting how we prepare and pair them. And here's the most beautiful part: these changes don't just help you survive the summer heat, they can actually help you feel more vibrant than ever. Imagine having steady energy throughout the day, sleeping better at night, and waking up feeling lighter. That's the power of eating seasonally and mindfully. So, as we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought: your body is wise. It's been adapting to changing seasons for decades. Sometimes all it needs is a little nudge in the right direction. Softer eggs here, soaked almonds there, an extra glass of herbal tea. Small tweaks, big results. I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed certain foods that make you feel better or worse in the heat? Maybe you've discovered your own perfect summer combination. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience could be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. If you found this helpful, do give this video a thumbs up. It really does make a difference. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel for more tips on living your healthiest, happiest life after 60. Remember, age is just a number, but how you feel, that's everything. Here's to staying cool, nourished, and full of energy all summer long. Until next time, take good care of yourself, because you're worth it.